yesterday on the phone when he was singing that Nama garat ame dirmammu nargani. Is Hachalu here? Yes. Yeah. Nama garat ane dirmammu nargani, when he means this, that's where you're hit. When you're hit there, you would not see, everybody else who is non-Oromo will not be able to see how hurtful it is to be hit in that place by Finfinne. Okay, so that is the point about the trigger. That's how it triggered. That's what explains the visceral reaction of the Oromo. That's what explains that the Oromo from east to west, north to south, they stood up as one people because they were hit on the stomach. That was the symbolic idea. The new generation of Oromos adopted cultural tactics, cultural devices to express their grievances. In Oromia itself, the flourishing of Oromo literature is not simply a sign of tremendous cultural revival, but a niche which the Oromo appropriated for consciousness raising, for organizing, and for mobilizing protests. How did they do that? A decade ago, when the seat of Oromia was relocated, and no level of political hierarchy would listen to the Oromo, beginning from the university president all the way to the prime minister, there were Oromo elders who went to ask the release of the students that were expelled from the university. No one listened. At that time, Taaddala Gammachuu said, "Hinteenyu maalumatti teenya, alam mangistaata bira deemna, wanna gubaa'een jedhu dhageenya." And a few years ago, when the Oromo cause seemed hopeless because of divisions among Oromo political leaders, Hachalu Hundeessaa released this song. He said, "Waa'ee keenya yoo itti dhiisanii silaa naman dhiisu, dubbii keenyatu akkan taane, maal godhu akkan taane, hojii faana gargar baane, oduu duwwaa taane jechuudha. Hojii faana gargar baane." Itti dhiifnee silaa gad hin teenye, itti dhiifnee silaa gad hin geenye, walii gallee yookaan alaa hin galle. And at the same time, he exposed the nature of the real enemy that the Oromo were confronting through a song that was structured in questions and answers format. And he was saying something like, "Dhaqee cinaachi koo yemmuu lafa gahu waan arrafuun se'a. Narrafee hin rafne jechuufis ciisa koorran jira. Maalumaafan ciisa maal arrafaa miti, gaaffii deebii dhabdee na keessa marmaarti. Mee akkamin ta'ee waan ta'us dhabee rafee buluu yaadus yaada koon dadhabee." So he said, "Why am I not sleeping? I have a place to sleep, but I can't sleep." He asked the question. And then he gives the answer, saying, "Eenyutu eenyuun gadi, kanatu na aarsa, maafan aaruu dida. An ergamuu malee ergachuun dadhabee, kanaafin rafuu dida." And then say, "Garaan koo rakkattee rakkina faarsiti, abjuu hiika dhabdee hooduma rakkatti, egaa hamma yoomitti gadadoon jiraatti." Xinnaa guddaa, listen to this one. Xinnaa guddaa caalee guddaatu xinnaate, an kanaafan aada, dubbii isaan na dhibe, deebii isaan dadhabe, an kanaafan rafuu dida. He's answering the question. That's what it is. And then, xinnaa guddaa caalee guddaatu xinnaate, an kanaafan aada, dubbii isaan na dhibe, dubbii isaafan dhabe, kanaafan rafuu dida. And he answers it. Well, until when? It said, gadadoon jiraanna, hamma yoomitti. That's what he's saying. And between the 2014 and 2015, you have heard this one too, Afandi Siyo released an album in which he consoles the dejected Oromo because of the violence of 2014. He say, "Ya sabako, abshir nibariti, yaa lammii koo abshir ni bariiti. Laf bariisa dukkanni hammaatti abshir ni bariiti. Of course, the darkness that you see today, yeah, it's the darkness before morning. It's the darkness before morning. But if anybody was able to pay any attention to the images that were even portrayed, you would really see how culture was used by the young generation to mobilize, in which I will give you only one stanza where he says, Machafi tulama, qabsoota afran qallo, jimmaaf boorana, sabboontota wallo, arsii wallaggaa hararii fi baalee, takkummaa jabeessa waliin tahaa golee. And then in the image, he gives his gun, handgun, to his son who had been beaten up, and his mother gives him something, food, and he sends him off. He says, "Go and fight, go and fight." His sister, who was helping him, in the image, his sister, she goes. The parents are not saying you go to and fight. But she goes through the back door and joins her brother, and they go off to fight. And if anybody looks at that, and the artists were not mobilizing the people, you're not looking. So that is how their contribution is. The message is clear. And of course, I go back to Hachalu regarding the master plan itself. Hachalu's song, Malan Jira, where he says, Gullallen kanenyu, Gullallen kantufa, Gara bichuturi, Galan finfinne marse. It's not yours. It's always been Galan's. Around Gunfinne, it's been the Galan Gosa. He says that and say, Sila akka jaalala walirraan fagaannu jaratu nu fageesse. Diiganii gaara sana gaara diigamuun mallee nu baasan addaan baane nu addaan bahuun mallee. Sooretti haadha sooree erbaan irra buusa qabaayi seeqanii sesseeqanii kan garnu maase jarayi. My point is this. There is a lot of forces that contributed to the protest movement. But the artists have a place. In my paper itself, I will write a lot more and in detail about this. But I'm just giving you how Oromos retreated into culture to organize themselves, to transmit the message, organize themselves. Now, a lot could be said, but this is one way that the protest started, and they're really deeply rooted.